If your page looks off, it's probably missing one of these 4 elements. Welcome, I'm Ingrid Carlsen, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I hope that you are having a great day, and I hope that this video really inspires you to go create something today, even if it's very small. I'm going to show you 4 elements that I think every page should have, and you don't have to use all 4, but I think that the magical number or the formula is as long as you have 2 of the 4, your pages are going to feel more cohesive. They are going to feel more robust. And the reason is a lot of times when we put elements together on a page, they feel assembled but not built. They're not telling a story. They feel maybe too clean, too even, too perfect. Does that sound familiar to you? I know I struggle with that a lot, where I like to line things up, I like to mat things up, and when I look at things that I really like, I like the messy parts of it. But when I go to create, sometimes I struggle with that bit of it. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to break it down to 4 different types of elements that I think that you can add to every page, and you can mix and match whatever 2 you want. When we build our pages like this, it feels like more storytelling. It's like something that's been through time. It's not something that was made. It's something that has been there and has been cultivated and has lasted. It's a whisper instead of a scream, and it's something that you want to run your fingers across. The first element is texture, and this can be gluing down a piece of lace or muslin. It can be hand stitching or fraying fabric by pulling out the threads and giving it that worn look. It could be adding a little velvet ribbon or tying twine around your cluster. It can be something that just adds some movement, and when you run your fingers across it, you are going to feel that texture. It changes your page from a one-dimensional to a 3-dimensional page, and that's what adds the interest and starts really telling your story. Within the 4 elements, you can also double up on the elements, as I'm going to show you here. I used some netting, and then I decided to add a piece of frayed old fabric on the left-hand side, and I feel like that green fabric, and especially when it's paired with another type of fabric, it just elevates the piece to another level. This kind of goes into the next element, but as you can see here, I built this little page on corrugated cardboard, and the cardboard itself has texture to it. And the more that you can add, the really richer that the page looks. Some other ideas for different types of texture that you can add is lace trim, sewing threads. I showed that in another video. I love adding little clumps of tangled threads, some crinkled tissue paper, some handmade paper, vellum, dried flowers, or even wax seals. Our second element is going to be layered paper. This looks like vintage book pages, music sheets, library cards, receipts, handwritten letters or scanned letters, postage stamps, envelopes, guest checks, doilies, dictionary pages, and of course, pattern papers. Of all the 4 elements, I think this is the easiest one to execute. I think that most of us, if we look through our journals, it is filled with different types of papers. So this one's a really easy one for you to add. Now, the trouble is knowing when to stop, but I kind of am of the thought process of you stop when your heart is full of joy. If that means 8 layers, then stop then. And if it means 2, you can stop then as well. Remember, there are no rules. This is your creation. This is your heart on a page, and it is not wrong. Element number 3 is probably one of my favorites, and that's because it brings my art practice into my junk journaling world, and that is going to be adding some kind of paint or marks. We're going to call this like inks and marks. And this can be as simple as adding paint splatters or even using a distressing ink to smudge up your edges to make them look vintage and worn and used. Also, we love using coffee stencils. If you caught a couple videos back, I did a faux coffee cup rim little stain using the lid of my instant coffee. This is a wonderful way to just really add layers to your story. You might look at a smudge or a splatter and think that it's not really art, but the truth is it is, because it guides your eye and it breaks up visual stillness. It creates a sense of motion on a page, and it 100% is your art. It might not be a fine art piece that you worked on for 36 hours, but it still is art. I like to think of adding these things like the smudges and the splatters as adding the seasoning. Individually, they're great, but when they are put together, they pull together the composition of your page and add so much depth and interest. Element number 4 are metal bits. And as you can see here, a little bulb pin, a safety pin, a grommet or an eyelet, a rusted paper clip. Any of these things add so much visual interest. They also add an extra layer of texture as well. But there's something about putting a metal next to paper or next to fabric that is just so lovely. It is so intriguing to the eye to view, and I just believe that it brings so much balance. This is a large bulb pin that I made using a Dollar Tree shower hook, and I'll link that video down below if you want to check it out. It is one of my favorite projects, and honestly, I had kind of forgotten about it until I pulled it out. I thought this was attached to one of those pages, and it might have been, but when it fell off, it made me want to thumb through it, feel all of the different textures on it, and just look at all of the little treasures. And remember, you don't need all 4. You just need to pick 2 and let them bounce off of each other. You're going to see that suddenly your page is going to tell a story instead of sitting still. And I want to encourage you today, if you have a page that you've worked on and it just doesn't spark that joy in your heart, go back through and pull it out. See if maybe you can add 1 or more of these elements, and then let me know what the results are down below. I thank you so much for being here, for all of your love and support. And I want to remind you today that you matter. Your voice needs to be heard. You are strong. You are showing up. You are enough. And you are loved unconditionally. I thank you so much for being here. And until next time, love you. Bye.